Good morning, everyone. This is Matthew, aka the Nucleus Cyborg. Today is Saturday, and it is currently 11:50 in the morning. It is April 9th. So, I just thought I would come before you today because it's my first day off of the weekend, Saturday, and I've had a rather stressful week, and I just feel like the weight of the world is down on my shoulders today, and so I took the day off, my morning off to go to my workout this morning. I stayed home, slept a little bit more, got a little bit more rest, and after some reflection, I got up and got ready and presentable, and then it always makes you feel good. It's good sometimes to veg, sometimes in your pajamas, but after a while, you have to get up and at least get prepared for the day ahead. But after I got ready and showered and all, I went into my second spare bedroom, which I use as my when I need to meditate. I have a little, I guess you would call it, shrine set up in there, and with a little incense burner and a little pillow that I sit on, and I just meditate sometimes when I feel like the world is crashing down on my shoulders, and I need to turn to God, and that's what this is about. Actually, I'm going to get pre-presenting my third invitation that I gave at my church, which was back actually. Let me see. I actually gave it. Let me see. It won't. There we go. I actually gave it back on March 2nd of 2022. So it's been a while. Like I said, today is the April 9th. Is that what I said? Yeah. Yes, today is April 9th. So it's been a while since I gave it. I have just been so busy. I did not think that when I was an adult that my life would be this way. I'm single and I have a dog. That's about it. And I live alone, so you might think with those factors that I have just a regular job, workout job at a warehouse. You would think that all that would be a pretty slow, boring life. But no, my life has been so busy lately and so just out of whack that I barely have time for myself. And so I just needed some reflection during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday right now because I have an appointment on Thursday evenings. I can't work out. And then sometimes, usually, I canceled it this morning, of course, Saturday morning on those days. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 days a week, trying to work out at the Fit Body Boot Camp, and so that is for me. You could say that is for me. I'm very self improvement driven. Uh, I like to just better myself, and every time I feel like that my efforts are not enough, even though I'm working my butt off trying to make it in life. And when somebody says it's not enough, then I'm like, what's the point? And so that's what this morning meditation was for. I just sat there really, and I did. In meditation, I tend to think that your mind needs to go blank. You need to think of nothing, and just be there alone in peace. And so I have a Bluetooth speaker up in my spare bedroom, which is I use instead of my phone to play music. It's pan flute or training from the Karate Kid series. That pan flute that you always hear throughout the original trilogy. Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. Uh, and so that music I think is very relaxing. And then, like I said, I have an incense burner. It's those cones where the incense smoke tends to come down instead of going up. And there's a little whatever you place it on, like a little pedestal, is shaped in the form of a dragon. And in my second bedroom is uh, decorated in Star Wars and Jedi, and so even though it's just a dragon, just a regular dragon, I tend to think of it like the crate dragon from the series, and so it's all spiritual, mystical, whatever you want to say. This is just all my thoughts, and like I said, I thought about starting a journal today because I just have so many thoughts going through my head right now. Something happened Friday, and I was just torn apart at work. It just happened at work. Boss came up to me and said, Matt, you're not doing enough. You're not working hard enough. And I'm like, I had an order that called for 100 of something. I won't get too much into detail because, again, that's my job. I don't want to go too much into detail in case this actually gets out. I'm not complaining about my job here. I'm actually I always try to do my best at everything, but like I said, the order was for 100 of something, and so Thursday I was able to get through 92 of these items, and I thought that was pretty good. I had they had all been in big boxes, and inside the big box was like four smaller boxes of the items, and I had to go about with my work, and so like I said, I had two of the big boxes left by the end of Thursday with four each smaller boxes inside, so 8 total, and so 92 out of 100, and I thought that was pretty good for the day. I was like, wow. And I actually had a few teammates that I work with, colleagues, come up to me and said, "Oh, Matt, you did a good job." But then again, my supervisor came up to me on Friday and said, "Matt, you should have gotten these done yesterday. You're not working hard enough, and blah 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 blah." And in my experience, this is my experience. I don't think that the upper management, or when you're above an employee, your supervisor, management, whatever, a team lead, whatever you want to call it, I just don't think they put themselves up on a pedestal. That's what I tend to think. I'm sorry, I don't mean to criticize at all, but they don't know what it is anymore. To even if they did work on the floor once, they forget that. It takes time. It takes time to do things. And then working in a warehouse, there's a lot of foot traffic. In the warehouse, we have forklifts driving around, and as the forklift comes by, people got to get out of the way unless they want to become, a stain on the concrete. And so, I got so many thoughts. And so, like I said, as I said at the beginning, this morning, I just took the morning off. I got a little bit more sleep, and like I said before, I just, took some time, sat in front of the TV, with a hot cup of tea. That's me. I'm a tea drinker, not a coffee drinker, and just kind of relaxed and all that stuff, and let the what happened yesterday kind of flow and get out of my system. And then, as I said before, then I went upstairs and took a shower. And like I said, try to visualize, the hot water washing away yesterday's disappointment. And then with the incense, again, trying to, looking at the vapor, the smoke, trying to think that, this represents, your negativity pouring out of you, and just listening to the calming music and all that stuff, and trying to get, I guess you would call it, my chi, just back centered and all that stuff. And so this morning I thought, let's see, I'm already at 9 minutes and 9 minutes already, just did talking here. But anyway, so this morning I thought to get my mind in the right place, that I would deliver my third invitation here on my YouTube channel. Second, let me pull it up again. Well, darn it, man! I keep getting the wrong one. So here it is. Okay. So here we go. This is my invitation 3 that was given on March 2nd of course this year 2022, and I gave this in front of my church membership body, and this again my third invitation, and I was trying to just you know it's an invitation, not a sermon, so and there it is. And then if through YouTube, if anybody does watch my channel, I seem to have a few followers, but again, I don't know how far my videos go. If this inspires anyone, that's what it's meant to do. And of course, throughout the invitation, if there's any questions about what I say, of course, you're free to leave a comment down below, and I will try to get back to you about that. So here we go, invitation 3. Good evening, church family. It is great to see everyone today, and it is great to come before you again to deliver another invitation. Every time I get the opportunity to give another invitation, I get so excited. Maybe too excited, if truth be told. And then again, if it's even possible to get excited when it's talking about Jesus and the Bible. What I have to share with you this evening, today, is a tool which I have used when trying to share the gospel message with non-believers, whether they be agnostic, atheist, or something else. I developed this tool because it has been my experience, that when I try to quote scripture to a non-believer, the listener doesn't respond well to the gospel message. In some cases, quoting the scriptures can even drive the listener further from God. I've seen it. I've seen this. This is very frustrating, and for me, because it's very frustrating for me because every time I try to share the gospel message with a non-believer and they don't respond well, I feel like I'm failing Jesus and his last command to go out and make disciples, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. I mean, I spoke the truth, right? Why didn't the listener respond positively to the gospel message? This, and at that time I held up a Bible, the Bible, is the truth. This is not just a truth. This is not just our truth as Christians. It is the truth. It makes me think, was it something I said? Something I shouldn't have said? Something more I said? Should I have said something different? Was there one word I should have said, or perhaps one word I said too much? So I developed this tool that draws from the truth of the gospel message without quoting from scripture. And for lack of a better term, it forces the listener to respond to the truth of the gospel message. Or at least it does put a stone, so to speak, in the listener's shoe and gives them something to think about. This tool is a chart which starts with a foundational truth of the Bible, but instead of branching up like a tree graph, it branches downward like the roots of a tree or a plant. When this root graph is complete, I think it provides a strong root for Christian faith. Now, I do apologize because when I said that phrase, strong root, a scene from the Karate Kid Part 3 flashed through my mind. The scene where Mr. Miyagi tells Daniel's son, he has a strong root. He breaks that tree, and if you go watch that movie, he bonsai tree, he ends up breaking, and so when the bonsai tree, heals, starts budding again, strong root. But anyway, sorry, moving on. This foundational truth that this chart starts with is the seed, so to speak. It is, here's the seed. Jesus claimed to be the Messiah and the Son of God. There are many Bible verses that support this claim, but as I said earlier, by design, this tool does not quote from the Bible. Now, that claim, Jesus claimed to be the Messiah and the Son of God, that only leaves two possibilities. So, if you were drawing this graph, this chart, you would draw two lines kind of rooting down. And on one side, it would say either Jesus' claims were false or they were true. That's it. That's only two possibilities. Now, there is no in between, no ifs, ands, or buts. So, now for the sake of argument, let's say that Jesus' claim was false. That again leaves only two possibilities. So if again you were drawing this chart, you would draw two lines again rooting downward under his claims are false. On one side, it would say, now either Jesus made a deliberate misinterpretation of the scripture, or Jesus did not know that his claims were false. Now, let's say that Jesus made a deliberate misinterpretation of the scripture. I think that in turn leaves for four possibilities. That would make him a liar, a hypocrite, a demon, and a fool. If Jesus did not know his claims were false, I think that leaves two possibilities. Either Jesus was deluded or he was a lunatic. Now, I would not trust my life or the matter of my salvation, nor do I believe that anyone else would, to a person with these qualities. So now let us consider the alternative. Jesus' claims were true. That can only mean that Jesus is Lord. Again, now one can only accept or reject that. There is no middle ground. The invitation is for anyone. Anyone. That includes my viewers. If you have never accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior and would like to accept his invitation, then I would invite you to come forward. If you need to talk to someone about your relationship with Jesus, I know that there are many people here, speaking of my church body, that would love to speak with you. They would be happy to speak with you. Now, I'm not very good at it myself, but I will do everything I can to help you in your walk with Jesus. You know, I've seen it. I've seen it in the world. I've seen it in my church. So, again, whatever your decision is, I invite you to come forward as we stand and as we sing. Now, that's the end of it. That's the end of the invitation. Just a few more words on that. You know, again, if you would like that chart, I do have it here. Let me pull this up. I'm surprised that that nothing has happened to this video recording. Usually it freezes or something. Okay. Here it is. If you need more time, you can just pause it. And it doesn't fit into one video, so I'm going to have to move it a little bit. But this is, again, so if you need to take more time, you can pause this video right here. That's the first part of the graph. Now, I'll have to pull it up a little bit to get more. Now, hopefully you can get all that if you're interested in that graph. If you would like to speak to me, you can, like I said, you're free to leave a comment down below. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I felt like the world has come down on my shoulders today, and things are looking a bit better this morning. It is a little it's afternoon now. It's 12:10. So I've been well, not rambling on, maybe not today, but things have gotten a little bit better as I've spoken and as I've done some practices today. So if anybody wants to respond to the gospel message, and it's a little bit hard to do through a video, I understand that. But again, if there's any questions that you might have out there, if you'd like to talk about this graph a little bit more, I'm here. I'm just a Christian in my daily walk. It is a daily walk. It is I personally, you might call this a little bit Jedi, again, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. You might, because I try to live in the present, okay? Dwelling on the past, like I said, dwelling on what happened yesterday, that was what I was trying to get out with the various practices I tried this morning. Dwelling on the past, past mistakes, that can really get you down. And then, taking, well, what happened in the past? Well, what can happen in the near future? If, what if I don't do this? If I don't do that? Another quote from one of the books, Jedi Masters. It's from the Revan series. Let me see, what books are those? I believe I have those books here on my. I use Audible, so like I said, I have all these saved. Here is my library. Star Wars. It's like I said, the Star Wars books. I'm trying to find them here. Okay, Star Wars: The Old Republic. They said we have Revan. I believe that's the first book. Then you have Star Wars: The Old Republic, Deceived. I think it's that one right there. So Star Wars: The Old Republic is a quote from the Jedi Master in those books, Satele Shan, and she says to her Padawan. Let me see if I can find that somewhere in my memorable quotes here. So again, we were talking about the if, She says this. She says, metaphorically speaking, if is the smallest word in the Galactic Standard Lexicon, yet it stands between us and our greatest dreams. Let it be a bridge. I'll be waiting for you on the other side. So, like I said, I draw from various things to try to help me motivate and help to keep me going in life. And so I know Star Wars, it's just, and Christianity, they're not exactly the same thing. So I know that, but you can pull from certain things to give yourself motivation. Another thing that I like to believe is that not all darkness is evil. Even light can be hurt. You like the sun. You look at the sun, it's a good thing. It gives life, it gives warmth, and all that stuff. But stare at the sun for too long, and you're likely to go blind. Anyway, let me see here. I'm at 23 minutes, so I think that's a pretty good length for a video. So I'm going to end this video. If you have any questions or comments on anything that I've said today, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down below. If you like this video for anything that I've said, you can give me a thumbs up. So, and if you liked anything I said, anything that I tried to expand on, I'm using this channel, my YouTube channel, to try to get some, like I said, invitations out for to people. But I also talk about fragrances a lot on my channel. So, like I said, either one or that, if you want, so you can subscribe to my channel for any kind of videos that I post in the future. Okay, I appreciate you watching. You all have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.